I am Lawrence Chuno, and this is Doing Jazz. Hello everyone and welcome to Doing Jazz. My name is Lawrence Chuno and this episode is with vocalist Judi Jackson. Judi has worked with many household names in jazz and has headlined some highly acclaimed concerts, including her Amy Winehouse and Nina Simone tribute concerts. However, I decided to look for Judi and have her on the show after listening to her new single, Worth It. A song with a simple yet poignant and emotionally captivating message. I was enthralled by our conversation, to say the least. Judi has very insightful perspectives in life and a presence that constantly manifests the power of her artistic talents. The song playing in the background is Worth It from her upcoming EP titled Blame It on My Youth, scheduled for release in December. After listening to this episode, you can learn more about Judi by going to the website of the podcast, www.doingjazz.net, and you can listen to more episodes by subscribing on iTunes, TuneIn, or Stitcher. Okay, she is jazz, she is soul, and most of all, she is worth it. Ladies and gentlemen, Judi Jackson, in your face. Judi Jackson.
Lawrence.
Welcome to Doing Jazz.
Thank you, my friend.
And thank you for having me at your place.
Thank you for coming to me. It's
Great.
Beautiful.
Great. You're worth it.
Well, you know, no stress, baby. No fear.
That's right. So we're talking about how you might be related, but we don't know yet how you might be related to one of the Jacksons.
Yes.
A famous Jackson.
Yeah.
And so can you continue your story?
Yes, of course. I was saying, you know,
Yes.
earlier, off record, now turned on record, that I'm often asked, is there any relation there? And I'm not giving up on the possibility. I mean, look at my hair, for God's sake.
That's right.
We're throwed out.
Yeah.
Jackson 6, baby. No, and I was singing at the Arts Club in London. It's a venue I perform at sometimes. Especially, they just renovated, so when I go back in December, I'll have some more dates there.
Yeah.
And the Jackson 5, they performed there, and someone had seen on the flyer where it said Jackson 5, Judi Jackson.
Wow.
And they said, oh my God, all the Jacksons are here. I didn't even know that Judi was in town. You know, people like to talk like they know, oh yes,
Yeah.
Judi, she's the law. These guys are completely bullshitting. But yeah.
So maybe you're thinking of there's a Ruby Jackson, right?
Yeah, they're thinking of another one.
Yeah.
It's not me yet.
I know.
Maury.
Then
We have to go on Maury
Yeah.
and see who the father is.
Hopefully we'll get to that. Yeah. So, I heard your song, Worth It. That's what brought me here because I love
Amazing.
it. I was telling you I
Thank
like
you.
the simplicity of the song.
Thank you.
And then I watched the video. The video maintained the same theme. Very simple, but it gets you. Once
Thank
you
you.
hear that beginning lyric or part of the lyric, I've been down. Is it how
Sing
it
it. That's it. That's it, Lawrence.
goes? And I've been broken. Yeah, I remember such things, you know. See, that's how good it was. That's how good your song is. Yeah. Yes.
I love it. That's it.
Yeah.
I've been down and I've been broken.
Yeah.
But it's love that keeps us hopeful.
That's right. You want to talk about that song?
Yeah, why not? Let's get into it. When I first wrote it, I did not like it. I did not like it. I wasn't going to use it at all on the EP, let alone especially as the first single. And as I continued to write with my writing partner, friend, producer, incredible human being, George Moore, in London, we were coming up with other songs and other ideas, and Worth It was in the back. It was completely, it's not good enough. Forget it. It's not what I want to be. It just wasn't sure about it. As we got to the end of the process, the end as it were, and I had experienced lots of more feelings and ideas and situations and trials and tribulations that I was looking back on saying, oh my gosh, I don't know how I made it through that. I don't know how I am still in the land of the living, as it were. After X, Y, and Z had went down, I'd just really been working really hard, and some really kind of strange universal acts that were happening in the world regarding the government and in my own personal life, my home life. And anything that I was working on at the moment, I was just saying, is it worth it? Why am I doing this? What is compelling me to even make music anymore? Because I have been doing it for 10 years in and out of musical theater and Broadway and acting, off-Broadway, Tony Awards. And that's all great, but I said, what is it worth? What does it mean to me? Why do I even want to get up in the morning and get out of bed? And then I was revisiting my songbook and revisiting my lyric book, and Worth It came up. And I've been down, I've been broken, but it's love that keeps us hopeful. Every day is a new beginning, to see the sun and let it shine in. And those are the simple things, as you said, the simplicity that make us get up. While all of the big events that I've been to and some of the shows I've seen or been in myself, I love and I cherish those experiences and those memories. But for me right now, it's about reworking the everyday pleasures of life. When we're down, when we're broken, when we're stressed out, love keeps us hopeful. Love.
Yes.
Whether it's platonic love or romantic love or an agape love. Love is so necessary and so essential.
Definitely.
Because you strip everything else away.
Yes.
What you do, where you're from, and who you are is what lies at the core of that.
Yes.
And who you are is a very confusing question in this day and time.
True.
I feel as if it's gotten more confusing for good reasons, because we're breaking down a lot of race barriers, a lot of class barriers, or trying to. We're getting a lot of opposition this year, obviously, with Trump, with the election, with...
Don't get me started on that.
We'll get there, Lawrence. With everything on a very elevated level, we're dealing with opposition. So that love, having love at the core of whatever it is that you're working on, whether you're in sports, music, fashion, medicine, that is what's going to keep us propelling forward. And getting back to what I was saying about who are we? True. That question is getting so much deeper. We have so many beautiful different races, so many beautiful different religions, so many beautiful different sexualities. I'm here for all of them. If you're gay, trans, straight, bisexual, pansexual, be you, be all of it. Who you decide to have sexual relations with does not define you.
Exactly.
And I'm thinking that is part of the issue of people being mentally ill, spiritually ill, physically ill, because if they are gay, for instance, or bisexual, while that is accepted, there's still opposition towards it. And so people trying to find who they are and make a statement, it's really about losing the sense of self altogether.
Yeah. And as you say, this is a critical time. You said that we're trying to figure out who we are. I feel like even though like the outcome of the election 1 year ago and the things that followed the outcome, the consequences, they're not good feelings, but at the same time, they're making us think, who are we? Right. Trying to figure out who we are, trying to make us question our values and realize and reaffirm our values. Those who believe in the acceptance of every kind of human, no matter who you are, no matter your color, your sexuality, your religion. It's making us affirm those values.
Yes.
And making us affirm those values in such a way that we re-examine ourselves too.
Yeah.
And figure out, do we love these values? Back to love. Do we love these values?
Yes.
Are we going to fight for them and uphold them in whatever we do?
Yes.
So I feel you. I feel you.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to ask about the video.
Okay.
Who shot it?
Video shot by a dear friend of mine,
Okay.
Carl. I'd love you if you're listening. An excellent friend that I met outside of a jazz club in London, in East London, Broadway Market. It's called Kansas Smitty's.
Okay.
Incredible little club. It's like, in my opinion, kind of the Smalls. You know Smalls
I know
Jazz Club
Smalls,
here?
yeah.
Kind of like the equivalent of Smalls in the UK, where it's underground.
Smalls have this churchy feeling that I don't like it.
Yes.
It's like you're going to a church, like you watch people play, everybody's like quiet and listening.
There is a reverence about it and a community about it that I do love, I have to say.
I don't see a lot of, it's almost like they frown at vocalists. Do you have that feeling?
I feel in life you're going to get frowned at as a vocalist. You're going to get frowned at by people who don't matter. So if someone is going to frown at you for your instrument, which is one of the best instruments there is.
The number one instrument.
The number one, the first instrument that ever existed, and the most honorable and the most delicate yet strong, and the most responsibility lies in a vocalist, because we are always with our instrument and we always must look after it. Or not.
And we go right to the spirit.
Exactly. And our life is our instrument. Everything that we experience affects what comes out of our mouth, whether it has tone behind it or whether they're just words. Everything that we experience affects that. And so, in saying that, yes, I've experienced some frowning and some opposition and some... that's how I can describe it in a toned feeling. But if someone is treating me that way, that's a reflection of themselves. It's a reflection of what they have or have not, more than likely, achieved in their own careers. And that's not my fault. And the people that are at Smalls that make me feel loved and warm, they are the founders, like Mitch. I was just there the other night. I was there way too early. It was freezing cold. He let me in and just had a coffee and played with the cat, and then people start to slowly trickle in, and then the house is packed. I'm going, oh wow, this is why I come here. It's beautiful. It's a community. Anyways, back to the video.
Back to the video.
I'm very easily distracted, my friend.
But you come right back. I like that.
Back to the video. Carl Ulrich Mohl, a lovely human being and a dear friend that I met outside of Kansas Smitty's. He has a great eye for all things beautiful and lovely, and he comes to several of my shows in London and takes pictures. And I was thinking, I need to do a video. And I'm going, oh my God, of course, Carl. He does lovely work. He came in. I feel so
it was
relaxed.
shot in London.
Yes, it was shot in London on a rooftop there. Shout out to Morty and Bob's, a dear friend of mine, Charles. He has his own restaurant there, but it's a rooftop as well, so it opens up into a bar. And they have events there, and he completely let me rent out that whole space for the evening. Brought in the musicians. Carl did the video. He brought in his people. And I was so relaxed that day.
Good. Yeah.
I have a very exciting energy. I get passionate about things, and I can't hold my tongue on things that I believe in. And people who are close to me, who know and love me, know that. And they know how to deal with me in certain situations, especially in high-stress situations like shooting but what's the song say? No stress, no fear. And that's about who you surround yourself with as well. And you see it in the video, and people who know me are like, that is some of the most relaxed work I've ever seen you do, because I felt completely at home.
Love your fro. Shout out to your fro in that
Thank
video.
you. You know, it's going well. I had a traumatizing experience, I'm not even going to lie. When I came back to America, I went to a Dominican hair salon right around the corner from here, and I asked them to braid my hair so I could pick it out for a show. And me, thinking that I'm fluent in Spanish, as I was definitely much more eloquent with the language a few years ago, but I think I'm a bit rusty, and somehow we had a miscommunication, as you can see.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. But it's okay, because
it looks good in the video, though.
It does.
Yeah.
It's killing. It's absolutely
like
killing. And you know what? All things come back. All things shall be renewed. It's not that it looks bad, but it's more just a sense of the roots of the hair were not processed, and I think that they put some chemicals in it because they always want to straighten us out. I don't want to be straightened out. I want to be thick and unbothered. But it was actually traumatizing for me, because I had spent years growing my hair out. Now, we are not our hair. We are not our skin.
Exactly.
We are this. We are our soul.
Exactly.
But it is also important to note how much, especially being a Black woman, that the hair is a sense of identity, and a sense of self, and a sense of strength, and a sense of freedom. And to have that taken away and to start all over, the lesson there is just to work with what you have. My hair still looks incredible. I'm in love with whatever grows out of me, because it is mine.
Yes.
But it just is definitely to be said. Black women, look after yourselves. Don't go to a shop where no one speaks English. You'd think that's something that you wouldn't have to be told.
Yeah.
But I learn through experience. Apparently wise men learn through other people's experiences, but I'm a bit too wild, and the wisdom comes through the wildness.
But that's what makes it you. Yeah.
I mean, undeniably. I might just shave it all off. Who gives a fuck? I might just do that. You never know what's coming next.
You just mentioned experience.
Yes.
It seems that, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like your EP is going to tackle experience. It's called Blame It on My Youth.
Yes.
Right? So, you want to talk about it?
Yes.
Please.
Blame It on My Youth is based from the original jazz standard, Blame It on My Youth. I don't know if you know it. If I expected love when first we kissed. I sang that song for Jazz FM UK about a year and a half ago with Ashley Henry, lovely pianist. Tours with China Moses, a few other people.
China Moses, that's Didi Bridgewater's
yes.
daughter? Okay.
Both of them incredible. And we went in and we did that. And it was a great session and a great interview. And I had a lot of fun doing the song. And the song lyrics mean so much to me because I feel like this past year has been all about learning how to navigate life's ups and downs, learning how to get into a routine, learning how to have some discipline, which is a journey and a lifelong lesson, learning how much is too much or how to be free, but freedom is a responsibility that requires discipline. And anyways, I was listening back to that session and listening back to myself sing this song. If I expected love when first we kissed, blame it on my youth. If I forgot to eat, if I forgot to sleep, if I forgot to pray, blame it on my youth. And the songwriter says, if I cry a little bit when at first I learned the truth, don't blame it on my heart, blame it on my youth. And I felt as if I was trying to imitate a certain sound in that video, which comes with experience and comes with learning. And I love Billie Holiday, I love Blossom Dearie, I love all of the jazz greats, those historical, legendary women that paved the way for women like myself and all the other women of color who were performers and singers. But why they were so legendary as well is because they found their own sound. They were the first to sound the way that they sounded.
Yes.
And they were the first to do it and to stand by a sound that was different and to not be afraid to sound like themselves. They weren't trying to sound like anybody else.
Yeah.
And so I was watching that back saying, okay, my influencers are coming out. Amy, Nina, Carmen, Billy. But how do I take everything that they have given me and still show that those are the influences, but sound like Judi Jackson, sound like me? Because I've been through enough and I've experienced enough that my experiences on their own should be enough. And while you can still draw from whoever else influences you, don't be afraid to sound like yourself. So I still wanted to sing that song. And I still wanted to have it on this project, but I wanted to sound like me. I didn't want to be trying to sound like this and put on a jazz voice. Which I can do.
Yeah.
If I'm needing to do that, why not? But I wanted to sing that song, but sing it just like me.
Yes.
No affectations on the voice. Just purity. And that's what I did. And that's what George helped me do when I would come into the studio. And he said, remember, we're looking to move away from that thing that you are no longer. Moving away from the thing that you are no longer. So while singing American Songbook standards have helped shaped me and helped me with my songwriting, because those melodies are some of the strongest melodies and most beautiful. It's all about sounding like you. So you're going to hear me in a way that you've never heard me before. It's going to be me singing my voice. Singing the songs and not my voice, but in my voice. And I had a great mentor, Cyrus Pace, who would always say, sing the songs, not your voice. So it's about giving a clear, reflective delivery of experiences that I hope everyone can relate to and everyone can feel empowered by, and they can feel like they're helped through whatever they're going through. You have that standard. You're going to have Set on You, which is a reflective song about an ex mixed with a current. You know how that goes. You're going to have Still, which is a song written the day after the election about the dilemma that our country is in, but how we are still everything that we were before Trump and after Trump, and how we will still be powerful. We are still black. We are still breathing. We are still beautiful. We are still everything.
That's right.
And we are to be even more. Nobody can take that away from me. Even going back to my hair, nobody can take that away. It is still an afro. It is still beautiful. It is still black. It may not be what I wanted, but how do I take that situation and make it work for me? And that's what we have to do as a nation. We have to make it work, because no one, whatever cards are getting dealt to us, those same cards are still going to get dealt, especially in Black America. And that's what Still is about. And my fathers, both of them, are on there reading a letter that my biological father wrote me. And then my adopted father is reading a scripture. He said, be still and know that I am God. That's all. When you get still and you really take the time to breathe and feel why you're feeling these feelings, then that's what Soon is about. Me reflecting on a loss of innocence and what that was like, and kind of reliving that moment, which I was listening to. Oh my goodness, never forget tonight. You made me feel that. My goodness.
I can't.
You know, I'm thinking I can see her in my head and I can hear the song. I can't think of the name. Tonight.
I can't place
again, like Tonight or something like that.
My memory can be really bad.
Right.
I'm spacing
I'll
out.
never forget Tonight. I'll never forget Tonight. That's the name of it. I'll never forget Tonight.
I can't place
an old soul song. And I was realizing how heavily I'm influenced by old school soul, old school R&B, Sade and Minnie Riperton and Laverne. Is that her name? Was it I'll Never Forget Tonight? And she's singing about that loss of innocence as well. And there are some interludes where I'm talking about a lot about family, reflecting on love, family and love. Those are the things I know best. I've had a really interesting family life and home life, and really interesting love experiences. And so that's what I draw from.
Awesome.
And I hope to inspire and give some kind of love, as it were, back to other women who have had similar experiences, and they can know that you are not defined by those experiences. You can still grow on to live a happy, healthy, beautiful, strong, free life.
Awesome. Why an EP instead of an album?
Time.
Okay.
It takes time.
Yeah, it takes time.
I'm finding everything day by day, little discoveries.
Yeah.
And so an album is a relationship. An EP is dating.
I see.
I've always had trouble with commitment, Lawrence. Always. So slowly but surely, little commitments before the big wedding day.
Yeah, true. And if you end up doing an album down the way, you could also take some of this songs.
Oh, of course. And that's I have so much music.
Okay.
I have so much music that I'm just putting it out. Increments.
The goal
I don't want
is
to rush
to
anything, but I don't want to hold back. Life is short. I could be gone by
true.
the time you're out of here.
Yeah.
Hopefully not, but we never know.
No, it won't.
And so
this album needs to drop. At least. The world needs to hear this album, and we need to hear you perform it. We need to see you perform it and more. Yeah, that's right. So when does it drop?
December 8th, everybody.
December 8th.
December 8th. Follow me on Spotify.
Okay.
So you can be the first to hear it. Get me on iTunes, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
I was on Spotify, and you have only one song there.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're patiently waiting.
Yes. The next one is coming soon.
Okay, great. Let's go to the very beginning.
Okay.
Where are you from?
I'm from Roanoke, Virginia.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
born and raised country girl from the mountains. Grew up eating grits and pancakes, pork feet and pigs rounds and chitlins and
awesome.
Chicken liver. Who's calling?
Yeah, I know, right?
Hello?
I know. Don't worry. I usually put my phone on silent, but when I was on my way here, I had to turn it on because I don't want to miss maybe your call.
Oh,
or something
understandable.
Like that. Yeah. All right. Okay. So, yeah. Let's go back to where you're from.
Okay.
How did you begin singing?
Church.
Church. Okay.
Church was my first introduction to music, as it were. Every Sunday and then Saturday, once my adoptive family is Seventh-day Adventist. And I say adopted for the purpose of clarity for the interview, but that is my family. Okay. I call them mom and dad, and I love them. Yeah. And I'm so thankful to them for their support. And we would always, my mom was the leader of the church choir. You know, she was leading the church choir, and I would have solos, my sister and I. My sister has a beautiful voice as well, but she in no way, shape, or form wanted to pursue music. She's in psychology, which is probably much needed for me. So the perfect balance. I started out singing in church and then going off to church school where I did several plays. I was Hark in Hark the Herald Angel. And then I had a little keyboard where I would do my worship songs and write from that. And I went off to college, the University of Mary Washington, where I studied musical theater and minored in theater. So I had a double major there and was also taking regular acting classes and regular music classes, just kind of the overall performance vibe. I wanted to have as many tools as I could to help me be a well-rounded performer. So dancing, I'm a dancer. I do ballet and tap, jazz, salsa, bachata, merengue.
Awesome.
See, that's why I thought I could go to the
Did
Dominicans.
you take any?
Around.
Did you take any?
Salsa, bachata, per no afro, no, oh no, now my hair is messed up forever.
Did you take any West African dance?
I would love to. I have never taken
You're in
professionally.
Brooklyn though, so there are a lot of them out here. So you should take advantage of it.
I took it by doing in Qatar. I just go out dancing.
Yeah.
People from all around the world, even in London, passing clouds. Lots of Caribbean, African, Nigerian, Ghanaian world music would be played there, and I would go there and just get down.
And just get down.
No shoes.
Let yourself
just dancing, just being wild. I believe in discipline, but I also believe in complete and total freedom as a means of living and learning and loving.
But that's when you do art well, though.
It's dangerous, but that's why art is different now, because we realize how dangerous it is to live like that and to be so full on every day. It's full on.
Yeah.
But I feel so alive when I'm like that.
Yeah.
And when I'm not, it's difficult. It's difficult to exist for me without complete freedom. But complete freedom is a responsibility in itself, because complete freedom is dangerous.
Why do you say that?
Because you could kill me right now. That's why. If you had no law stopping you.
I see what you're saying.
But then again,
God forbid.
that same instinct would make you get what I'm saying? I'm being very real right now on a very real level of how I view the world and how I view freedom.
Yeah.
Those same instincts that make people clinically crazy to do things that are so unspoken of, at a more diluted level, is the same instinct that allows you to go up on stage in front of thousands of people, allows you to speak your mind, gives you the gusto to be able to. What makes someone so special or different that thousands of people think that they're the ones that they should be watching? Something.
Yes,
it has to be something.
Something. That's what I'm saying. That freedom allows you to do art to the core. To bring out the core of yourself and connect with people, because they see that authenticity. They see that, she is giving everything she got. Yes. She's real.
Yes.
We got to follow her. She will lead us wherever she leads us. She's real. She's true to herself.
That's right.
And she can't bullshit us. Yeah. I relate to what you're saying. So you went to college and you graduated?
Yes.
Okay.
Woo woo. Even if I feel like a dropout, though. I feel as if
like a dropout?
I feel like a dropout.
Why?
Because everything that I learned, while it helped me immensely, and it helped my stage presence for sure, and it helped me learn my own body and my own voice, it also completely confused me and completely did not prepare me for the real world, as it were.
I see.
Nothing can prepare you for life except for living. Nothing. So not to say it's a waste of 4 years. No, not at all. I have so many valuable experiences and people and connections and training. I'm a trained performer, which has saved my butt many times, because I know when something goes wrong, what to do, how to bounce back. But nothing can prepare you for this work or for this life except for living it. It's all chaos. It's just complete chaos. Be kind. It's complete chaos. Just be kind.
So when you graduated, did you work on Broadway?
I was off Broadway at the Kitchen Theater in Ithaca, New York. It was my first paid acting out of school gig. I got my first credit, SAG-AFTRA there, playing Sunny in Slashes of Light, which is a beautiful play written by Judi Tate, directed by Melissa Maxwell. And I was playing a young girl from the 1970s named Sunny, who was torn between two worlds, torn between not being black enough or being too black. And she was also learning her first feelings of love, like her first love interest. And she had to learn to play the guitar, which is when I started playing the guitar, which helped me write some of the songs in the EP. But it all comes full circle, is what I'm saying. So I was doing that show where I had an afro. I wore an afro wig, and it's so funny now that that's all coming full circle because that is so who I am. It's so me. So that was my first gig. It was upstate. And then I came back to do a few off-Broadway readings. Legal Tender, which was an off-Broadway reading about money. And its terrible, terrible, yet necessary place in the world. And then I did some awards presenting for James Earl Jones, its Lifetime Achievement Award at the Plaza.
Awesome.
And then I got a gig in Qatar for Jazz at Lincoln Center Doha.
Wow.
And that is when things all started picking up. Yes.
You traveled there?
Yes, and I did that as a residency. And I was working loads of other side jobs, babysitting, which taught me so much. I never even thought I wanted kids of my own, let alone just being around children.
Yeah.
But it taught me a lot, and they are lovely, and I miss those little boogers, seeing them. I wonder where they are. I think about them every day, I really do, because you realize when you step away that you are so influential in their growth and in their learning and in their first...
Yeah, and they never forget you.
They never forget. They probably do. They're not going to remember me.
No, they probably never
Who are you?
forget.
Hi, I used to be your babysitter. I was working at the Red Rooster in Harlem as a hostess.
Okay.
And also sneakily listening to all of the music possible there. I heard Cecile there and Joe Farnsworth, who's lovely and incredible and always gave words of encouragement. And I was doing temp work, like on computers. I was falling asleep for that. That was no good. That would have never lasted. So yeah.
I have a few questions.
Okay.
Related to the industry.
Okay.
Because you have a lot of experience right now that you've had a lot of experience that that helped showcase you to different people and made people see your talent and recognize and believe in you, you know. Maybe I should start with this. These are some questions that some artists don't like to be asked, you know, but people out there want to know. Like, do you have a publicist now?
I do not. It's all independent right now.
Okay.
It's all independent right now. I'm very, 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 very blessed.
How are you able to get your stuff out there? Because on Spotify...
I have an incredible manager.
Okay.
I have an incredible manager who really believes in me, and I'm very lucky.
He's in London?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he works with other artists too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Because your Spotify is on fire. Even though
popping.
You have just one
it's
song.
It's popping off, boo-boo. It's popping off in the VIP section at a Spotify, hon.
Okay.
It's doing well.
That's good.
It's doing well, and I'm excited, and I'm ready to say more.
Yeah.
I'm like you, but as much as we are artists, to continue to be artists, we have to be business savvy.
Yes, that's the thing.
And
that's
is what
why
he's teaching me.
I want to know more. Yeah. Another thing
that is what he's teaching me.
Okay.
As much as I want to release everything right now, I don't, because I know the power and the strength in stillness, the strength in waiting, the strength of reserving. That's what I said, the double dichotomy of freedom. Freedom is great until it's time to be disciplined. And you have to find those times for yourself or you will not survive.
Yeah.
You will not survive. So, yes.
Now, how about... licensing your EP, for instance? How do you plan to release it? Is that stuff you
independently? All independent right now. It's all independent right now.
As Judi Jackson?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you're not trying to work with like a distributor?
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Down the line.
We'll
okay.
See.
All right. But I feel like you have enough presence to pull it off yourself big time.
Oh, yeah. I like ownership. I like control.
Good. That's good.
I love control.
That's good. Maybe you end up owning a label.
Becoming to freedom as well.
Yeah.
Ooh, watch out.
That's right.
Control is necessary to freedom.
I'll steal that.
You see? And so with that being said, I absolutely need to be in control of things or I lose my sense of peace and my sense of self. which has been a learning experience because you can't control everything because then other people around you don't feel free.
Yeah.
Watch out. So it's much more complex than we want to really realize. Freedom, freedom, freedom. But freedom is responsibility. Freedom is control. And freedom is discipline. But discipline is contradictory to freedom. And it's all chaos. Be kind.
Deep, Judi. Now, your manager is in London.
Yes, sir.
And you live here.
I live in London.
You live in London?
I live in London. I'm in New York right now.
Okay.
Having some meetings, doing some sessions, doing some studio time, doing interviews.
Okay.
And I had the EP single release show. I wanted to come back and do the EP single release show here.
Okay.
So people at least know that I'm still here.
Okay.
I am still in the land of the living, but I cannot wait to go back to Europe.
So I'm lucky
stressful here.
to be able to do this now.
Yes, I'm so happy we're doing it.
I feel privileged. That's good. Okay. Yeah. So
I love it, but right now,
would you say you live in London full time?
I live in London. Okay. I live in London, England, in Notting Hill.
Okay.
Come say hello if you're ever in Notting Hill. We'll walk down Portobello.
Okay.
We'll have a coffee.
I might do that.
And we'll go to the market.
I go there once in a while. Yeah.
I think that mental health in London and England as a whole is much more looked after. There are a lot less mentally ill people, in my opinion, in Europe. Because speaking of freedom, I think as a culture, things are a lot more relaxed. People are not... I encourage you to live your fullest dreams and be somebody. Yeah. But not at the expense of, I got to be somebody, I got to do this, I got to do that. That's not, I don't feel that energy in London. I don't feel that energy in London. And I feel it in New York. And I don't mean from myself explicitly. I mean from the people that I'm around or just on the street. I was having this conversation in Smalls the other night with a gentleman who lives in France. And he often goes to London. We're going to reconnect. He's in architecture. His wife does interior design. And he was saying even the homeless people, even on the street, there are a lot more people living on the streets in New York than in London. And even the state of the people who are on the street, they just look unhappy.
Yeah.
And we have to dig deep and figure out why that is culturally. The food, I noticed even, no matter where you are, posh restaurant or not, the portions, why are we eating so much food? It's completely unproductive amounts of food. Yeah. Even at healthy restaurants, it's completely, it's insane. Yeah. And it has to do with our government. It has to do with being brainwashed. We're sitting in front of the TV for hours on end. I'm not saying don't watch TV. It's completely relaxing. Take your time for yourself. Read a book. Do what you need to do. But if you don't think we're being brainwashed and everything that we're watching, everything that we're consuming, be careful. Soul food, as much as I love it, when I came back, I was so excited to eat at Amy Ruth's after being away for ages and not having a real soul food restaurant like that in London. And I got really sick after eating. And I realized, okay, that's because at the end of the day, we're not supposed to be eating like that. We're not supposed to be putting that into our bodies. We're supposed to be eating small, wholesome, healthy amounts of food. That goes back to mental health as well. If you're eating well, your brain, it's actually brain food so that you can function. So it all ties in. Okay. And all that goes to say that I do live in London, and I feel more as if I can write out there better, especially when I'm in the countryside. A lot of all of the songs, obviously, were written in London, and even for the next EP, a lot of those songs were written in the countryside, just laying out in the grass.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. All right, let's round it up with a series of fun questions.
Okay, please.
This section is called Turn Up or Mute.
Oh, right? Okay.
If you like something, I'll give you two choices. The one you like, you turn it up. You say turn up and mute the other one. Okay. But it's just for now. It's not forever. It's just how you feel right at this present moment.
I love that you said that because feelings change.
Yes, feelings change. All right. So I know the answer to this one. Okay. But we're going to start with it anyway.
Okay.
London or New York?
London.
You
Turn up.
London.
Turn
Okay,
up.
all
Turn
right.
up.
And you've already said everything, so
Turn
there's
up.
no point in asking you why.
Yes.
Now, these questions are difficult, so think
Mm-hmm.
really well. Amy Winehouse, Nina Simone. At this moment.
It's apples to oranges. It's impossible. It's impossible.
How you feel now? I told you it's a difficult game, difficult but fun.
It's impossible.
It's
It's
impossible.
impossible because they're two different turn-ups. It's like turn up on vodka versus turn up on whiskey.
Yeah, but right now you can't drink them both. You have to drink one. How you feeling just right now at this moment?
Okay. Amy.
Okay.
In this moment. But like
okay.
5 minutes from now, it could
Yeah,
be
it
Nina.
could change,
I
could be
just
Nina.
posted. But
Okay.
turn up on Amy. Turn up on Amy.
Okay.
Turn up on
okay.
Amy.
I understand.
Yeah.
And do you want to talk about your show? How you did a tribute to Amy Winehouse in London?
Yes, it was really incredible how the first one came about.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley Henry was supposed to be doing a tribute with I don't know who, but he was scheduled to organize it.
Yeah.
And he was on tour with China Moses.
Yeah.
And he called my manager. Someone called my manager and was like, can Judi be here tomorrow at this time doing a full Amy Winehouse tribute show? We've completely sold the show out and we have no band or singer.
Oh my gosh.
And so I worked my tiny tush off that night, getting the band together. I know her music and I loved her.
And you
but
really
I had to
embodied it.
really, learn all
all
the
the
lyrics, all the words, get the band together, get the rehearsal together in one night.
Whoa.
And we did it. And then
Awesome.
from then they invited us back and then the band was more comfortable and we've been doing it
Nice.
as a tribute. And her dad, Mitch, was actually supposed to come out, but he wasn't able to make it out, but he may be able to make it to the next one. And the Amy Foundation was on board and supportive. And any way that I can help to share and spread her legacy, I will do.
Yeah.
She was and is a true gem, truly misunderstood, true freedom. So true freedom will kill you. True freedom will kill you. Case in point. In any way possible, whether it's young, when you're young, like Amy, or slowly kill you, like Nina, where your mind just cannot handle it because you know the truth. And you can't live every day knowing that everything is a lie. So anyways, those shows were really rewarding and really special to me. And
awesome.
Yeah.
The last one, the most difficult one. Still worth it. Which one? Turn up.
Still, turn up on Still.
Right? Okay.
But you haven't heard Still.
I haven't heard, that's what I'm asking.
Oh,
so I can't wait
it's
now.
Still.
If Worth It is that good and you're turning up on Still already, then I'm anticipating it.
I'm anticipating for the world to hear it as well.
All right, that's good.
It's my favorite song on the EP.
Awesome.
It's my favorite song.
That's good.
It's Still.
Nice.
Yeah.
Judi Jackson.
Lawrence.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
I hope we can do it some other time.
Yeah,
again.
man, this is fun.
Good. And thanks for having me. Such a nice apartment. Shout out to your apartment.
Shout out to Bay. Shout out to you.
Nice. Later.